Good morning, everybody. Epic Baryon back here again today to continue our Outward playthrough. Where we left off yesterday, we finished off the Antique Plateau and the Enmerkar Forest Unknown Arena boss encounters, and we are going to keep on chugging along and fighting the rest of the endgame super bosses here. I had a lot of fun yesterday. The bosses weren't as strong as I was kind of expecting, but they might ramp up, and they all have their own unique flavors, so some are going to be harder to deal with our build than others. I'm definitely expecting pretty difficult encounters once we get back into the Caldera region, but for right now, we're going to have to prepare before we fight a few of them, so let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm thinking we're going to tackle the Hallowed Marsh bosses next. We just have to get a few items set up before we're going to be able to meet the entrance requirements for those. Shouldn't be too difficult. In fact, let me get my little cheat sheets pulled up on my end so that I have all the requirements here for me. So at the very least, we need to go farm a handful of obsidian elementals to get some obsidian charges. We're short like 2 or 3 of them, if I remember correctly. And then we also are going to need I believe some poison element. I'll remember it. It'll come to me in a second, and by that I mean I'll pull it up after everything loads on my phone. Miasma pods. Okay, so those might be difficult, just because they expire, so we need to probably make sure that we either buy or find them in the Hallowed Marsh region. So we meet, at this stage, only one of the 3 encounters that we need over there, so let's go ahead. I know if we head over towards the burning tree, we can find some obsidian charges around here. Not sure. Maybe we might be able to buy some miasma pods from the alchemist. We need 6 in total. That may be difficult. It may not be. We'll have to kind of see. For right now, though, we're going to head basically due south just past the burning tree. If I remember correctly, there's 1 or 2 obsidian elementals over by this bandit camp. If we're really desperate, we can always head over to Caldera, where there's just a plethora of those obsidian elementals. That's not really something I'm super worried about. I'm pretty sure it's going to be harder to get the miasma pods than anything else. I want this. Starting to run a little bit low on salt. I'll take a couple. Why not? It's there. Sorry if it took me a couple of minutes to respond to you there, Doom. Usually I'm hanging out in chat while the starting stream logo's up, but today I was watching the RPG Limit Break speedrun of SMT3 Nocturne. One of my favorite games that, in usual Bary fashion, I've never beaten, but I have played about 60 to 75% of. They were later on in the run, past a point where I've ever actually gotten to, so I was interested to see how they were fighting some of those endgame encounters, especially with all the speedrun strats where they're super low level and everything. Let's see, there's a Burning Man there. We don't care about him. We only really care about the little horse elementals. But I'm going to kill this guy on the way just because, you know, I don't like the way he's looking at me. And I'm not sure, they might have a low drop rate on those obsidian charges. I doubt it, but oh, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Already we're off to a good start today. Are there any more of your friends wandering around? Yeah, there they are. And let's just kill your buddy over here before we go get our backpack, and then we'll come back and loot you. Oops, I forgot to lock on. Happens sometimes. Alright, there we go. So maybe if we're super duper lucky, we will get all 3 charges we need right here and now. I highly doubt it, but a man can dream. Again, normally I'm a big hoarder, but those obsidian charges weigh a lot. I'm pretty sure they weigh 4 pounds each, 2 each. So usually when I'm in dungeons, since they're so heavy, they're one of the first things I drop, since I really haven't had any use for them up until this point. And even then, we had a stockpile of about 20, but we used them for crafting a bunch of stamina potions, because it allowed us to use a recipe that did not require the use of a crimp nut, which is very good, because that ended up being a rare drop, apparently. We haven't used a whole lot of that throughout this playthrough either. Still nothing. Yeah, that's a shame. Alright, Mr. Horse Friend, do not fireball me. That's all I ask. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now these enemies have a very high drop rate on what we're looking for, so hopefully we run into more of them. We only got 2, I'm pretty sure, as long as we get 1 from this. So yeah, we still need 1 more. I don't know if it's worth traveling to Caldera, or if we want to just sleep for a couple of days here in Berg. Maybe I'll swing back to town and double check to see if possibly there's any miasma pods. Oh, actually, you know what? We can head over to the Face of the Ancients and kill all the Burning Men and Obsidian Elementals in that. There's quite a few down there, so that should be very easy. There's at least 1 or 2 Obsidian Elementals at the end of that dungeon, before it turns into like an ice dungeon. Oh, here's Caldera. So if we're at the Caldera entrance, we want to go way north. Okay, this is going to be a little bit. Drink some water just for the stamina regen and to get rid of that little icon in my debuff bar. Now the question is how do we get up there the most efficiently so that we don't have to go over these ridiculous hills that block all our movement? That is the million-dollar question. That is always a problem here in the forest. Just getting your day going? Pretty good as well. It's been a bit of a slow start. I don't know if it's the changing of the weathers, but here on the East Coast in the United States, the weather has been changing, and it's starting to feel a lot like winter. Definitely, I think we got our first frost, either, if not last night, the day before, so it's starting to get cold. And that really just means that in the mornings, I do not want to leave the safety of my my comforter. I don't know what it's like in the world where you're living, but that's what it's like over here. Other than that, like I said, I was watching the RPG Limit Break run this morning, which supports a very good cause. I'd recommend you check it out if you're at all interested in speed running, or it's very similar. It's much smaller. It's a much smaller event compared to GDQ, but it's still very good. They showcase probably a lot more less popular games. Usually you're not seeing 8-hour speed runs in a standard GDQ event, but that's not necessarily uncommon. For the limit break. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Please leave me alone. I didn't mean it, I swear. We should be coming across our favorite Mount Rushmore area in just a second. Well, actually, no, I have quite a ways to go, because this is the Vigil Pylon. I'm going to walk for a bit, and we'll get our stamina back, and then head down. Still following me? No, they gave up. You have a beast golem there. I'm going to avoid you, and then once we get to about half our stamina, we'll go ahead and just sprint our way over there. Now, I feel like I took a wrong turn. Oh, no, I didn't. Alright, we need to go left here, and then we're not too far away. Probably gonna run out of stamina before we get there, but that's not the biggest deal in the world. We're not too far. There's gonna be one cluster of enemies we're gonna have to avoid if I remember correctly, but besides that, it's not too bad at all. Yeah, see there, we can see the hand of our friend over there. Come on, game. Be nice. Let me go up this. Oh, you jerk. Alright. This should definitely get us what we need. We only need one more obsidian charge, I believe, but I'm gonna get 2 just in case. And while we're at it, let's just give it a second for our stamina to come back. If only for the reason of, I know there's at least 3 of these burning men here at the entrance. You? Nope, nothing. Alright, what about you? What do you got? Anything? Nope. How about you? Oh, there's 4. Well, we're gonna fight 2, apparently. Not that that's really a problem. Alright. Oh, there we go, we got it. Alright, let's go get our backpack. We'll go ahead, pick that up, and we'll head in. I'm gonna kill off the elemental as well in here, only because if we're lucky, we can get some crafting materials that we might need. Should we choose? Don't really need to, but we're gonna anyway, because this place isn't really a threat. Just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and use my warm boon. Same with my blast for the extra damage. We could drop down behind it and fight what we want, but we don't need to, and we're not going to. Oh, don't know how I didn't trigger that. I definitely walked right over it. Alright, so one here. We're gonna Zerg him down. There we go. That's fine. Alright, perfect. Very dark over here, but luckily these enemies are not really much of a threat, as I said, so we don't need to worry too much. A lot of traps here. Is there anything back here? No. This just exists to punish you if you happen to fall, I guess. Alright, fine. Die right on top of a gatherable, why don't ya? And nothing. We got nothing. Go ahead, head down here. Oh, our friend is right there. In fact, before he decides to fight us, hopefully I can get this off. There we go. It all worked out. There's one more here, and then we'll go ahead and head out. I'll do that. Alright, perfect. We talk to you still? I put the Scarlet Idol there. Alright, I guess that's just weird, and the prompt does not go away, but that's okay. Let's see. I want one more just for safety. Awesome. Alright, so we got everything we needed from down here. That didn't take long at all. Lots of dead burning men. Or these are just like normal people who are burned. Not really sure I understand the difference necessarily. I assume the burning men are like ghosts of some sort. Alright, so that it gives us the materials we need for 2 out of the 3 of the Hallowed Marshes unknown arenas. Now we just need 6 miasma pods. Really quickly before we head out, I'm going to double check to see if there's any interesting information on the wiki on how to obtain those. Because really I haven't had them too much. I know I've used them to poison myself a couple of times. Ah, we get it from fishing. Interesting. For fishing in the swamp, there's about a 60% chance of getting it. And the farmer in Monsoon sells about 3 to 5. That's not too bad. So we can go ahead and hopefully find that pretty easily. Why am I overweight? Probably from all of these obsidian charges. Obsidian shards. Whatever we want to call them. Hopefully we don't end up having any kind of technical issues today. I can see my internet is definitely being a little bit odd right now, so I do apologize to anybody watching if there's a little bit of choppiness here. Definitely dropping some frames, so I apologize again. Give it a minute to see if it stabilizes. Luckily, we're not doing anything super interesting at the moment. But choppy streams are never good streams, no matter how large or small of a streamer you are. Let's drop off what we can.
Want to buy
maybe
something?
If we're lucky, this guy will have our miasma pods. But nope, we don't get that lucky, unfortunately. I am going to buy these travel rations, just in case. And just for fun, some jerky, so I have some throwaway items to get some health regen going. How about you? Maybe you sell them?
How can I help you?
No. I will take your salt again, though. Any crimp nuts? Ooh, 4. I will take that. Why not? I'll take these as well. We'll, I guess, do some crafting before we head out. That's no big deal. Alright, first things first. Here, you have this. You have this. This. I don't know why I didn't just sell you my gemstones when we were over there a second ago, but that is what it is. Drop that off, and this. Now, we are kind of a little bit overweight, only because we have a fair bit of potions in our stock at the moment. Carrying these around just because we are making sure we're prepared for all these boss fights. I'd probably drop them off, but knowing me, I would forget to pick them back up again, so I'm gonna hopefully not do that. So how many potions? We have 28 here in storage. We are gonna start to run low on stamina potions if we're not careful. But health potions are by far the most important. Actually, let's take these out and get those greasy ferns that we just dropped in here. There we are, there's the 3, and while we're here, double check. Alright, we have 10 of these, so I can go ahead and at least craft 3 of these health potions. Maybe more if we get super lucky. Got 3 of those. And let's see, I believe for our health potions we need horror chittens, shrimp nuts, and water. So if I could find those in my storage, we can go ahead and craft those. Alright, perfect. And again, we're gaming the system so it doesn't do that weird potion rotation. Go ahead, drop off like 15 of these. I think we're gonna probably want to put 1 of these in here. We'll only carry 5 on us. Alright, then so for the stamina potions, we need 3 obsidian shards. Struggling to remember what that recipe is, so let's just go ahead and check this. Oh, we need the common mushrooms. Those are a pain in the butt because I never pick them up. There we go. That's what we were missing. Awesome. I'm actually going to hold on to those. That's not too bad. You can go away. We don't need the mini potions. Alright, and beyond that, we just need to hope that our tartines hold out when we travel over to Monsoon, but besides that, I think we are pretty well prepared. Got some jam hanging out in here, some vagabond, tartine. Oh, that's pretty low. Those are going to go bad soon, unfortunately, which is kind of a shame. I should have prepared a little bit better, but not much I can do about it at this point. Let's go ahead, I guess, sleep, and then we'll head over to Monsoon. Really, again, all we need to do is farm those miasma pods. How are we doing? We'll do some repairing while we're sleeping. Alright, and then off we go, and we will complete our third area rotation of these Unknown Arena boss fights. For those that are just joining, we are just getting the materials that we need in order to meet the entrance requirements. We're heading over to the Hallowed Marsh right now. We're going to need to just farm up 6 miasma pods really quickly, which hopefully shouldn't take too long. We can either buy those at the merchant or fish for them around. There's about a 60% chance of getting them as long as we're fishing in the Hallowed Marsh, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long. Based on the wiki entry, the merchant always carries 3 to 5 of them in that area. We can also stop by our house and maybe craft a few more potions from our garden on the roof. Oh, and I forgot to get more water. That's fine. We have plenty. In fact, let's just go ahead and swap this out really quickly while I'm thinking about it. There's a reason we carry 3 to 4 of those at all times. For the most part, water is fairly abundant, but you never know. Sometimes you just don't run into it when you need it. Or if you're like me, you just forget to get it. Let me just double check, make sure I'm going the right direction. Yeah, we're going the right direction. This entrance is going to get us to a weird spot. We're going to have to kind of circle around over by the Giant's Village. I think before we can safely fish, we're going to have to clear out a bunch of enemies around. This might just take a moment here. But we'll do what we can. Really, my main concern is, again, that our teens are going to start to rot. We can always get more fairly easily, but that's just a nuisance that I don't want to have to deal with at the moment. Oh, and our bandits and our blade dancer friend are fighting once again. Let's wait for it to get the bandit kind of low, at least to the point where we can hit it in one hit and kill it. And then we'll step in. There we go, perfect. Okay, there we are. We learned yesterday that there's a second one. Should also be some more bandits, but they might just be dead already. If we're super lucky, we will get the miasma pods off of these enemies, but I wouldn't expect it. Now, I wonder how we are supposed to open this up. I believe there was mention earlier in the playthrough from chat that we need to complete a specific faction quest line. I think it was the Blue Chamber Collective, and that opens that up. That would be really nice, just so that I don't have to go all the way around, but we can. I'm just not happy about it. Maybe if we head on into here, we might get lucky as well. There could just be like a switch or something for it. Not usual that those Blade Dancer enemies are someplace insignificant, just because they're pretty strong in all honesty, even this late in the playthrough. This is the Ziggurat passage. This is going to be, I think, a shortcut over to the Giant Village. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the UAs that we're looking for is going to be located in here. We haven't actually been in this dungeon. Hopefully we'll find something interesting. The Jade Lich Idol. I see. Oh. It's an elevator. Alright, well, at the very least, let's familiarize ourselves with this general area, just so that when we actually run through here looking for the UA, we know where we're going. If we're lucky, we'll find some of those miasma pods, so that we don't need to farm as many when we're on the way. All of these doors are closed and locked. It looks like we only have one direction we can actually go, which is where we were going before. I do see that there's like these power circuits on the walls that are likely going to be significant. Hey, whoa. Who are you? I don't think we've ever fought a skeleton. You're pretty weak, though. Yeah, an animated skeleton. I wonder if there's like a necromancer around or something. This looks like a secret door. I'm sure that we're going to open that at some point. Let's at the very least hit all the switches we can. Yeah, good enough. I'll take that. Same for this. Gives us a marshmallow, which is nice. Beyond that, not much else. Ooh, nice. Apparently I didn't have a stone flesh elixir, which is very good. Do want that. You can keep everything else. Wait, what kind of sword was that? Iron Claymore. I don't need that. Yeah, maybe we need to go in from the other direction from here. Oh, it looks like when we hit that switch, it did unlock more than just the one door, so that's good. Down there, or over here. Oh, it unlocked all of them. That's a blade dancer. Yep. Give you a counter, get you in stagger range. We'll go up first, and then we'll go down. Apparently, we're going to find an idol at some point. We got some more switches. I'll take these cold stones. I need to start hoarding them because I did end up crafting the Hailfrost Spear for any of those who weren't here yesterday. That is my backup weapon, although I don't have a matching set of armor to go with it. Seaweed, salt. Right when I said that I needed more salt, I get it all thrown at me. This is also definitely a secret door. I'm not sure specifically what's going to be going on with those, but they'll definitely come into play at some point. Secret doors are really not hard to spot in this game, if I'm being honest. It's always very clearly an entranceway, for the most part. Let's see. There's not really anything else back here. A little strange that I haven't ran into this place yet. I don't want to jump just yet. Actually, oh, yeah, I do. That's the Jade Lich doll that we're looking for. I see there is a little dinosaur down there. Now let's go ahead and buff up. We're not going to use our powerful buffs, but We will at least use our Bless and our Ice Imbue for some extra damage. Gonna walk across here. Hopefully I don't get too much damage. There we go. So I'm expecting maybe an Indiana Jones sequence here. We just took the idol. Maybe we'll be attacked by a boulder. Who knows? Stop backing up. That's poison water, and I don't want to fight in it. Come over here. Oh, it's gonna run? No, you're not. Not on my watch. Oh, don't drink that. In fact, don't pick it up either. Nice! 2 crimp nuts off that. Wow, that's actually really good. Game, please. Mind this. Keeps trying to make me drink instead of interacting with the thing that I want to. Alright, you. Oh, is this like a gargoyle or something? I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. I want that dead first. In fact, let's go back here so that we're not fighting in the, Oh, no, where'd I drop my backpack? No, I wanted to take some jerky. Ow. Oh, shoot. Okay. That's a bummer. So this is definitely the equivalent of a golem in this area, interestingly enough. We've never ran into that before. Pick up your backpack. Go! We're being poisoned. Don't you know? This water's poisonous. Alright, at the very least... Where's that jerky? See, we got that for a reason. And I probably should have kept those small health potions, but what are you gonna do? Could always eat a sandwich, but I really don't want to. So let's go ahead, let's just risk it. Hopefully we get out of this poison water quickly after we loot this guy. Altered Gargoyle. Whoa! Alright, come over here and fight me in the not poison. Thank you. Come on. Don't de-aggro. I'll leave that there for light. I mistimed my my flash step there, unfortunately, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so our problem here is that when we go in this water, we get poisoned, and our health is kind of low. We actually have so many health potions back in storage. I'm just going to go ahead and take these. Really where we're struggling is on those stamina potions. And now with full health, that's not nearly as much. That's not nearly as dangerous for us. Alright, wow, this place is a labyrinth. I was not expecting that. There's some burning men over there. Looks like we probably looped around a back way. Keep double checking and seeing which direction. There we go, that's what we were looking for. Alright, more skeletons. Perfect. And we're just gonna Zerg this guy down, because he can't do a thing about it. Easy peasy. Getting some free jerky. I'll take that. I don't know. I don't know why a skeleton had it or why I would want to eat jerky off a skeleton, but we don't ask those kinds of questions. Forget that I just asked those kinds of questions, please, chat. Like a Fight Club type of situation. So that goes up. This goes nowhere. I was gonna say, I could have swore I saw an enemy. Why are you aggroed on me so far down here is the question. Let's take out one of them at least before we go for the next one. I don't know why he tried to do a 360 no-scope on me, but it almost worked. Okay. Perfect. Calling it. It's gonna have an obsidian charge. There we go. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I forgot that I was being poisoned and on fire. I was not paying attention. Oh no. Well, 131, pretty early in the stream. It wasn't even a boss, it was just a double dots. You open your eyes, surprisingly comfortable and safe, near a campfire. Someone must have rescued you. A guttural moan comes from not far away. Another person is lying on their side near the fire, clearly in distress. You drag yourself to your feet to see what happened to them. Alright, so we have no idea where we are. Talk to question mark? This unconscious explorer's face is contorted into a grimace of pain, and he struggles to breathe. He is clearly suffering from the effects of the marsh's poison. Without help, he has little hope of survival. Have an antidote. You pour some medicine down your rescuer's throat and wait. He coughs heavily for a moment and groans, but then his face relaxes and his breathing stabilizes. The explorer remains deeply unconscious, but he is in no further danger. A sudden sensation of warmth and a feeling of vigor fills you. It's not from the campfire. Okay, so that, I guess, was just a free bless spoon. If I had to guess. Let's see, where are we, though? Oh, we're back up here. I want to go back down. We already killed everything. Including ourselves. For that fact there. Let's, I guess, go right back to where we were. And we'll head up this direction. And explore the rest. Luckily, that did not bring us very far at all. Weirdly, there's nothing going on over here. I feel like these gears have something to do with a quest that we probably can't or won't take. We know this goes up. We don't really know what goes on over here. I'm going to keep wandering up a random path until we find something. Next time we're out of this poison, I'll go ahead and I guess dump some of my inventory. So we know where the Jade Lich idol is supposed to go. We can go back and set that up if we really want. I don't want this iron. Texas stone is nice. Skep's generosity. I thought we had a bunch of thick oil. Yeah, there we are. And then marble fist. We have one of those in storage, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead, drink that. What's our health regen like? That's actually not too bad. Let's double check and see what's up here, and then we'll loop our way back if needed. Maybe if we're super duper lucky, we'll come across We'll come across a path back or the other exit or something. This looks like it's on the way out, though. Yep, that brings us to the Hallowed Marsh. Alright, let's loop around, clear the rest of this dungeon. I'm mostly interested in making sure that we know our clear path to the UA when we come through here next. You can put the altar in the dungeon. Yeah, I am aware of that. We ran into a few dungeons like this as we've came up through here. But thank you for the tip there, Fruitod. Also, welcome to the stream. We've already finished the main storyline here, and we're just running through and finishing off the unknown arena fights, just for fun at this point. Really, it just comes down to, I haven't actually been in this dungeon, surprisingly. I'm just trying to explore, make sure that we know. Nah, I'm not going to take that. I'm overweight already. Interesting. There's a burning man suspended in water, it looks like. Couple of them. So now, if we go all the way back down to the bottom, there's probably, I think there was one path we didn't go down while we were down here. That's back here. Hopefully, oh wait, wrong direction. Hopefully it loops back around to the beginning where Fruitod is talking about so that we can put the Jade Idol statue that we picked up back into place. We just got that statue from right here. Give my stamina a second to come back because I don't know what's going to be around this corner. We haven't been in this section of the dungeon just yet. That's good enough. We're a little bit slow because I'm overburdened. Oh, this is literally just the entrance back here. Okay, that makes things easy. So I guess the question is what does that do? Let's go up here, see... I don't think there was anywhere else we could go up here. And interestingly, I didn't see anything that looked like I could interact with it in terms of like an unknown arena. Because normally when you try to interact with them, they give you at least the prompt for the entrance requirements. So not 100% sure what's going on here. Oh wow, and we are still dropping a lot of frames. I'm so sorry, everybody. Oh, it's back at the start. We'll check. I think we went this way. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we did. Oh yeah, we killed off this guy. There was this entrance. There are at least what looks like 1 or 2 secret entrances. Oh yeah, and this is when we... Yeah, this is where we dropped down before. I'm gonna circle back around. Actually, no, let's just go this way. We're already here. We'll take a little bit of fall damage, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna keep an eye on our connection for right now. Yeah, my internet has been really frustrating for about the last week. It's been exceptionally hit or miss. If it continues to be obnoxious, we might need to drop off stream for the day. I'm hoping not, especially considering how far into the playthrough we are. So, and you said at the start? We've got the Jade Lich Idol there. Look at the water now. Not sure I know exactly what you're referring to. Oh wow, it's clean water. I didn't even notice. That's interesting. Okay. Alright, so that just makes it easy to progress through the dungeon. I thought that would unlock like a secret door or something like that, weirdly. But that appears to not be the case. So let's take another sweep through just to make sure we didn't miss the UA at any point. Once we are out of the Dark Ziggurat, I'm actually going to, I'll drop off stream. I'm going to reset all my network equipment, double check to see if my ISP is logging any kinds of issues. I would expect that, yeah, here we are. 10 obsidian charges are needed to complete the experiment. Okay, so this is where we're going. When we come back, we know exactly where we're going to be. We have the 10 obsidian charges already. That's not bad at all. So we know that, and we'll come back here when we've got that. Now we just need the 6 miasma pods. Yep, so right now we are going through and we are going to defeat every single end game boss. On yesterday's stream, we completed all of the bosses in the Antique Plateau, and we completed all of the bosses in the Enmerkar Forest. Currently, we are just getting all of the requirements for the Hallowed Marsh ones, and then hopefully soon we'll be able to tackle this, but I don't want to fight them if we don't have good stream quality. That's just no fun, especially considering there's a lot of rolling around and particle effects and moving, so I want to make sure that everybody can see all the craziness. So, alright. That actually, I expected that to take us farther, admittedly. I can see there's the entrance where we just went over right there. I wonder if maybe that unlocked the path on that bridge as well. And I'm going to be careful here because I'm expecting... Yep, I knew there was going to be a Blade Dancer. Should have just enough stamina to kind of zerg this down. Perfect. As long as there's only the one, that's fine. So, the unknown arenas here are... There's one in that Dark Ziggurat, the one that we just found over by that, that suspended Burning Man, I suppose. And then there's another 2, both in the Giant's Village. Let's sit still for a second. Unfortunately, we're using a lot of stamina when we move just because we're overburdened. But we're heading back to town right now. Hey, Charlie Black. Welcome to the stream. I'm not familiar of any major changes to the magic system. As far as I'm aware, it still works more or less the same as when in the vanilla edition. This is the definitive edition, but if there are changes, it's just minor balancing changes, and there's nothing major to the spells. But this has been mostly a melee playthrough, so I'm not exactly an authority on the magic system. Maybe there might be some vets of the game in chat, because we've had some regulars who are very big players who might be able to answer that question a little bit better. Oh no, we're slow! Alright, I'm gonna kill you guys. There are far too many enemies chasing me right now. Perfect. Alright. Let's get enough stamina for another hit or two. These guys are kind of being jerks. Now we can tank a bunch of hits. It's not really that big of a deal. There we go. If that mage hadn't hit us with the ice spell, if I had did my normal serpentine, this wouldn't be a problem. I'm just gonna slowly back up. There we go. Alright, perfect. You are all the worst kind of enemies. It's not even the first time that that's happened to us when we've been overburdened trying to run on this path. Where's our backpack? Oh, crap. The mage guy. How long do we have on this debuff? 10 seconds. Alright, let's wait until that's expired, and then we'll go ahead and grab our pack and get back to town. perfect. No, no, we can't avoid him. Wow, okay. My attack missed, somehow. I was directly in front of him, and it went through his hitbox. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did. That happens sometimes with a spear when you're in very close range. Kind of annoying, honestly. So Gep comes and saves us. He should hopefully kick us back to town. Yeah, my issues are only getting worse right now, so really all I want to do, I want to get back to town so that we can get off stream. Of course, and this brought us to the opposite end of the map. Alright. Alright, I'm sorry to do this, everybody, but I'm going to drop off stream for hopefully only about 5 minutes, give everything a reset, and see if anything's better. I will be right back with you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will be right back with you. So let's go ahead. We're going to make our way back to the monsoon area. Unfortunately, that death did set us back just a little bit. Which is kind of a bummer, but it's really no big deal. I drink that, and let's start making our way over. That note, I don't want you. You say the same thing. Every single time you save me, Gep. Okay. Now we are back here. Oh, nice. It looks like we did end up unlocking the shortcut over here, so that's nice that we don't have to go through the Light Spire to make our way back to the Enmerkar Forest in the future. I don't know why we didn't do that earlier in the playthrough, but so be it. Here's our favorite mage friend right over here. We are still horribly overweight, so I'm going to go ahead and just kill these guys right now before we even need to worry about them. In fact, just for a nice cathartic experience, let's watch it die to poison. I don't think these little hyenas actually take poison damage, but the human enemies definitely do. Alright. Are back. Continuing what our plan was before we got so rudely interrupted by all of these enemies that are deciding to pop out of nowhere while we are horribly overburdened. Oh my gosh. I just want to go back to town. Excuse me, game. I just want to go back to town. That's all. Please just leave me alone. This is a really frustrating experience right now. We're gonna walk around slowly. Back it up. Wait for our stamina to come back. Stand still after he attacks, and there we go. My gosh. I believe this is where we came up last time, so we shouldn't run into too much on our way back at this point. There's the Giant's Village. We're going to have to head in there in just a second, but for right now, let our guy hunched over, all tired-like, recover his stamina, because that's apparently just what our life is at the moment. A little too much junk. Now, for those who aren't familiar or aren't aware, I am carrying a significant number of potions because we were prepping to fight some of the endgame bosses. So I wasn't expecting to head into an actual dungeon, but we needed to go into that passage to unlock the actual unknown arena boss fight. I'm actually going to try to loot this as well, because we want a miasma pod if possible. That's still the only thing we absolutely need before we can start fighting these bosses. Alright, here's where we died last time, so we're getting there. Gonna be a couple of more enemies up ahead, but not too many, and if we do die, unfortunately, we won't be too far from town where we're ultimately going. Get some stamina back so that we can just run past this giant. He's a little busy right now, so that actually works to our favor. Oh my gosh, every patrolling enemy in the entire world is on this path, apparently. Just let me be overburdened in peace, game. Alright. You have 2 questions for me, QP? Well, I'm sorry, I only have 1 answer, so hopefully it works for both questions. Again, man, this is a long trek. I'm going to stop running. We're just going to walk. We're going to hobble our way over. I'm not interested in fighting anything, but apparently the reverse is definitely true. Everything is interested in fighting me. Nice! Congratulations, QP! I'm glad you finally found someplace. Yeah, see, I told you. 1 answer for both questions. So again, congratulations, because I know that was weighing pretty heavily on you. I'm glad to hear that finally is resolved for you. Now, when do you move into the new place now? Okay, so we're finally back at town, thankfully. We can get rid of some of our inventory so we're not super overburdened. That was not a fun experience. Marshmelons and crimp nuts. We're gonna have to use what we can. That can go away, so can that. 4 of those off and the little ones of these potions. Oops, wrong button. So that helps a little bit. Not a whole lot, but slightly. Hey, yeah, sometimes things in life just work out. Now, I know definitely not being secure in where you're living is always a really rough experience, so I'm glad to hear that you are doing well. Glad to hear that everything worked out on that front, because, yeah, that's a very frustrating and tough situation to be in. Oh, nice. We got 2 crimp nuts from that gather node. Interestingly. Yeah, I was having some issues with my internet. I don't really know what was going on. I dropped off stream for about 5 minutes to reset all of my my network equipment. We're okay right now. We've been okay since, and really hopefully that keeps up that way. Okay, so I don't think we can actually do anything with these crimp nuts. What I'm going to do, let me pull these ingredients out to make a primitive backpack, and we'll just drop it on the ground. We need some linen wherever that is. Or wait, did I just pull linen out, or did I pulled hide out? Yeah. There we are. So we need 2 linen, 1 hide, or 2 hide, 1 linen, I don't know, whichever way it works out. Drop that on the ground, and let's put all of our stuff that's going to expire into that. All of this, all of this, all of this, all of that, all of that. Nope. We have not done any bosses this stream. So far, we've made our way over to the Hallowed Marsh. We cleared out the Dark Ziggurat passage, or whatever it's called, so that we could activate the unknown arena in there, and right now we just need 6 miasma pods, and we will be all set to do the bosses around here. That is all we're looking for at the moment. I'm going to buy as many as I can from this merchant, drop it in my backpack, and then we're going to see what happens from there. Let's go ahead and drop these off as well. Hopefully our sandwiches... Honestly, I'm going to put my tartines and whatnot in here as well. I don't want them to go bad, although I think they probably will, unfortunately. We might have just enough time on those so that we can complete the ones here, and then we'll go back to Berg and pick up the spares we put in place. Where's my bed? Is it in the other room? There we go. Ah, we can move normally. Yep, so I guess I hit 2 birds with 1 stone with those questions there, Doom. But really, yeah, the plan is we're getting ourselves prepared to do the Hallowed Marsh unknown arenas right now. We have the entrance requirements for 2 out of 3 of them. So we just need to get ourselves a bunch of miasma pods, and then I think we're good. Hopefully we get a bunch from this merchant, and we don't need to worry about it. But we're going to be doing a little bit of fishing for a bit. Otherwise...
Can I help you?
I'll take that, because I don't know it. Give me all your salt. And give me all your marshmallow jelly and all of your bread. And only 3 miasma pods, unfortunately, so we're going to need to farm up 3 of them or wait for a reset here. Which is kind of a shame, but there's not much we can do about that. So, based on how slow things are going right now, QP, I don't even think we're going to get to Caldera today, unfortunately. I think that's going to end up being set for a Monday stream.
Greetings, friend.
Now, I would like to get them all done, but it seems like these entrance requirements are taking forever to build up. I thought they would be a little bit quicker, but that does not appear to be the case. And I guess let's drop off like half of what we just crafted. And in fact, I'm going to put these in there as well so that they don't go bad. Just need to remember that we need 3, so when I inevitably forget, chat, I'm relying on you. I need 3 miasma pods, and then once we have those, we are good to do all 3 bosses in this area. What we can do, there's a 60% chance of getting a miasma pod when we do any fishing node in this general area. So we can check around in the water to see how many we can get. If we don't get lucky, we can sleep for a week and wait for the merchant to reset, because he's always guaranteed to have at least 3. So as long as we wait a week, we're guaranteed to get them, but we can get them a lot quicker if we get lucky here. There's 1. We need 2 more. Don't really know where the best place is to fish in this area are, because really I've kind of just ignored the fishing throughout the entirety of this playthrough. There doesn't really seem to be a huge point to it. Yeah, you can get some unique ingredients, but I haven't noticed it being anything that we actually need. Alright, this jerk is going to be a jerk. Why is he just sitting there? Come on, you raptor thing. Alright, well, that works too. We've got the jerky for a reason. You know what? I'm going to take one of these as well. Since we are in this area, we don't really need to be conservative with it. Keep looking for these fishing nodes. There's one. Oh, darn. So weirdly, I'm gonna keep, like, thinking that there's a bunch of fishing spots, but there aren't actually. I'm sorry about that, chat. My cat has a habit of, like, putting his nose on my screen. So there's, like, little smudges that look like there's other fish unless I get really close. So laugh at me all I want when I start, or all you want when I start seeing ghosts. It happens. Nothing. I'm basically just gonna run up and down this path, I guess, and if we find them, we find them. Really, we just need to get lucky. pretty sure the fishing spots only spawn on the beach areas, but I don't know where the beach areas are in the Hallowed Marsh, so I'm just gonna kind of wander around. Like, unless we're super duper unlucky, this should go relatively quickly, but I don't know, my luck is kind of hit or miss. Hey, stop that. Stop backstepping. Let me stab you.
Greetings, friend.
He sure does do a great job at being a cat. You are very right about that. I want to sell this stuff. That's going to go bad. That's going to go bad. So is that. You know what? Get out of my inventory as well. And do you have anything I want? Maybe if we're lucky, this guy will have a miasma pod, but not that lucky today. It does have some interesting consumables, but we don't need them. Okay, what is that? That's a lily pad. That is not a fish. Oh my god. I mean, it's my fault. I've got my light on. Alright, if I can kill one of these, this is not a dangerous encounter. They keep backstepping everything. There we go. Alright, we're good. Do I have any small health potions? No. You sold one. Let me buy one from you really quickly. We're right here.
Greetings, friend.
That's more of just so that I don't die. Not exactly playing super cautiously right now. I want this done and over with. Oh my god. Something's attacking me. Yeah, these enemies aggro from really far away in this area. Normally, even with the lamp on, it wouldn't be this bad, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and turn it off. So if it's difficult to see, let me know, chat, and we'll turn it back on, but for right now, it's a pain in the butt that's aggroing everything. Nothing. No beaches over here. Let's check over on this side. Nope, there's some. Maybe. Raw salmon still. Can there be another one? Nope. That would just be easy. That's actually kind of hard to spot at night, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna have to be careful. Oh my. Oh my. We are not having great luck today, chat. Not even a little bit. Nope, that was a smudge on my screen. That was not a fish. I wonder if the drop table varies depending on the time of day. I doubt it. I think that would be a little too intricate for the game, but it would be a nice touch. I'm sure there are some places where there's night-only fishing drops that you can find, but I'd imagine those are probably only DLC, not base game. No. Nope. Alright, there is the light spire. I'm not sure if this counts as a beach, technically, so we might not even be able to spawn fish here. Yes, let's head over there to where that little glowy thing is. That is definitely a beach. Yeah, well, it is pretty easy to find those poison fish here. Supposedly, there's a 60% drop chance. We're just getting super duper unlucky. Oh, we were already here. We've backtracked somehow. Alright. Oh, this is, okay, I know exactly where we are. We're over by the Giants Village. So these are enemies that we killed when we were on our way back up to town before. Nothing. Alright, I'll give it another few minutes, and if it doesn't end up coming up with anything else, because again, we only need 2 more. At a 60% chance, that should not be very difficult to find. Did he hit me? No, that didn't count. I got the dodge off in time. Basically what it feels like right now, it feels like we've got a 0% chance. Well, that's not fair. We did get 1, so it's higher than 0, I guess. Marsh Bandit and Ice Switch. You can have all of that. There's really not going to be very many enemies left in this area, so we can leave our lamp turned on. Let's circle around this island, and we'll just make our way back up to town. By the time we get to town, depending on what we have and have not found, we'll just sleep for about a week and wait for the merchant's inventory to reset, and we'll make it quick and easy. Hopefully our miasma pod doesn't go bad by the time we find the rest of them. Actually, I think I need 1 more of these and I can make some more marshmallow tartine. Nothing. No bubbles. Wait, was that one? Nope, that was a smudge in my screen. Check over here. Nothing. We don't know the exact location of the unknown arenas over here. Now, this is kind of a twofold exploration. Here, oh, we can get into the Under Island, whatever that is. I'm actually going to explore this place just a little bit. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to do a full clear on this dungeon. I just want to see what's down here. Because during our normal playthrough, we didn't end up actually going to the Giant's Village at all. I have no idea what's down here. Oh, there's a bunch of trogs. Can they shoot me through this? No, okay. This appears to be a book written by an explorer who spent a year living near the giants. A lot of pages are ruined, but many sections remain intact. Read about giants' family structure. Giant children are examined by the High Monk and the High Lord when 20 years old, and their position in life is decided. Builders, merchants, and craftsmen serve the High Monk, and soldiers, artists, and farmers are governed by the High Lord. Families of deceased giants will give a heart from the dead to the local High Monk, who will use their craft to merge the stone heart into their porcelain art, so that some part of the giant's life will endure beyond death. The High Lord will then commission a silk banner to reflect the giant's deeds and knowledge. Ash giants believe that death is final, and that only the works that have been created in porcelain and ash silk endure beyond death. They do, however, believe in passing down the wisdom of their ancestors via these crafts to educate and guide their descendants. Nice. Read about the giants' law and punishment. Giants who cause minor transgressions must make amends to the person they wronged, and must create a porcelain item or an ash silk item from the wronged party. For the wronged party, I should say, depending on their trade. Larger transgressions carry the penalty of exile for 20 years. After that time, the giant may attempt to seek forgiveness and return to giant society. A giant may be forgiven only twice, once in the name of the Dawn Weaver, and once in the name of the Dusk Father. After a third transgression, the giant may never return to their colony, and is considered dead to them. However, returning an exile's heart is welcome, and even the worst giants are considered to have a place within their history. The only crimes that are unforgivable across all of giant society are the murder... Okay, I'm going to start that one over. The only crimes that are unforgivable across all of the giant society are the murder of a silk weaver or a porcelain crafter. For every other offense, it is possible to seek forgiveness after the period of exile, although each giant tribe uses their own discretion for whether or not to forgive a crime. Interesting. Okay. So, again, we know nothing about giant society, so it's nice to kind of add that context to all of this, but it doesn't look like we can really do anything over here. This is a dead end, or this is just a back entrance to a dungeon. But that's still kind of neat. I do like the tradition of honoring their descendants through that. That's kind of a cool little way to go about it. I don't think there's anything else we can do over here. Let's wander our way up into the giant village. What is the durability on our miasma pod? Wherever it is. Here. We're still good. We have a while. Alright, and funny enough, we have not fought any... or we haven't made our way into the Giant's Village at all during this playthrough. Ow. He's just being a jerk. I'm gonna keep trying to loot these guys. Ooh, I'll take the 6 turnips. And hope and pray that maybe one of them has like a miasma pod or something like that. We'll go down there when we come back out, when we make our way back, because it looks like that's a one-way trip. Oh, there's also multiple entrances. Oh, this isn't even a one-way trip. We're just on the normal section. I don't remember if we checked this little beach, but let's look for any fishing nodes. Aha! Success! Please! No! How do we fail a 60% chance 4 times in a row? This looks like it's another like little exit from somewhere. Maybe a little dungeon, or maybe this is how we get into the other side from where we went before. Ooh. Let's check this out really quickly, and nothing. Naturally, we're overweight. And we've got nothing. Oh, that book is one of the few places where you can actually learn about the giant culture to win a little argument. Interesting. I didn't know that we were able to interact with any of the giants. The only ones that we've ran into that have been friendly or interactable were the ones in the giant's village in Caldera. Beyond that, I have never met another one that I'm aware of and that I remember. Okay, so let's make sure we get our stamina back, because we're gonna have to fight this giant here really quickly before we make our way over into the city. Luckily, the sun is starting to rise. I can turn off my lantern. I don't think that this beach goes down far enough for these fishing nodes to spawn, unfortunately. But a man can dream. I don't think that I have that dialogue option. You might need to have went the blue chamber. Ow. Oh, I thought I'd kill him. Oh, crap. There we go. Where's my backpack? Here we are. Alright, do you have any miasma pods, please? No. You do have that. I'll take that. And I guess I will take that as well for no reason. I have actually never been to the Giant's Village yet. For some reason, we have always just been on our way to other places whenever we've walked past this, and it's never happened. Oh, it's like actually an internal Giant's Village. I expected this place to be, I don't know, destroyed or something like that for some reason. Whoa, okay, and everybody's friendly. Maybe? Are you a merchant? No, you won't talk to me. Oh, we got one! Only one more, chat. Maybe this was the play. Come to the Giant's Village all along.
Hello, my friend.
Welcome to our outpost. What can I do to make us both happy? Alright, nice. We can dump some of our inventory. Wow, I never knew that there was actually merchants here. Oh, that's a really cool looking set of armor. very heavy. We definitely don't want it, but that is pretty neat. I don't want to hold on to those. You can have this, this, this. I don't want to be carrying that around, so I guess you can have that too. Music is kind of cool in here. Alright, so there's that guy. If we're super lucky, maybe there's like a food vendor. And we're able to buy a miasma pod. Yep, okay, so here is the unknown arena. We need 6 miasma pods for this. That is perfect, so we know where that one is, and that's going to be like the first one that we're going to want to do, because that's the only thing that expires. So we want to make sure that we get that out of the way. For some reason, there's a pearl bird's nest back here. Can I go into any of these places? No, but I'm going to keep looting just in case. Right, we just need one more miasma pod. Just one. Gold belly.
Hello, my friend.
Welcome to our outpost. What can I do to make us both happy? Right, that's the same dialogue as the other guy. He's got 4 crimp nuts. Alright, so this is supposed to be the alchemy cellar, but he doesn't have what we need. Which is a real big bummer. Let's see if there's any spots that we can loot nearby. I think we checked this guy. Yeah, this is where we found it before. We can't interact with you. What about you? Ooh, give me water, please. Can't talk to you, and this is another unknown arena. Okay, cool. So we know where all 3 are. Do I know that already? I feel like I do. Yeah. Get out of my inventory. Anything else I can loot? Nope. Alright, one of you guys just please sell me the thing I need. For you. High Lord Seer, I don't care about you for right now. I'll come back and talk to you. More important things to do. So this makes sense with all the silk weaving for the Giant's Village that we saw when we were in Caldera, though. Alright, there's nothing else for us to do here. Alright, what do you have to say?
A human in my village?
What brings you before the Ashborn of the Marsh, little one? I'm here to learn about your people.
What you want?
Oh, another curious one. I am High Lord Seer, the leader of this village. I am master of the sacred ash silk weaving. I weave cloth as a prayer in the name of the Dawn Weaver, and I teach this art to the other highborns.
You listen, human.
Our monks make the porcelain in the name of the Dusk Father, and fill it with his magic. Your people like the porcelain and silks, and many come here offering much silver and gold for some of it.
Off with you.
That is all there is to tell. Now go, little human.
You say.
Then pass through
What?
faster. You bring worry and change. If you visit, speak only to Goldbelly. Only to Goldbelly. Leave the rest of my people alone. Alright. So, this was fruitful. Now we know where to go for the 2 unknown arenas. We got 1 of the 2 miasma pods that we need left. We just need 1 more, and then we'll make our way up here, and we'll be all set to attack the Hallowed Marsh. This is taking a lot longer than I expected. You can see there's a beach off in the distance right there that we can check. Hopefully, if we're super, super lucky, we'll get the 60% chance, and we'll be able to move on. If not, we have more beaches to check. I'm gonna keep checking these spots where you can loot, just in case. Come on, game, please. Show me the fish. There is a beach down there. I wonder if we'll be able to see whether there's any fishing spots from this high. Oh, well, we're gonna find out anyway. Oh, we're just dead. Okay. Make sure you're wearing the proper footwear whenever you're going hiking. That's the lesson here. Right. You fall to the ground, broken and defeated. As you start to black out from the pain, you sense something standing above you, defending you. A cold voice reaches you through the haze of pain. Are you alive? Answer me. You awaken hours later, underground. As you lift up your head, a shape moves in the corner of your eyes. It's a monstrous beast that walks on two legs, red pulsing veins running along its body. The creature must have saved you. You see it holding a book in its hands, as it lets out a quiet laugh. Your consciousness fades again for a few minutes before you manage to get up. Alright, so we are back in our Immaculate Friends cave. I think this is annoying because it kind of brought us all the way across the map, but we might get lucky and get the drop that we need. Go ahead, just munch on some stuff really quickly. These still have plenty of durability, so we're good. Hello! I've prepared you a small gift. After so many meetings, it just feels right. It's a halberd that my kind uses, made safe for human hands. May it protect you from whatever means you harm. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. We must not have ran into him in this area, because I could have swore we did every area. Where will you go now? Wherever I desire. Perhaps we will cross paths again someday. May you stay safe and grow strong, friendly human. The world could use more people like you. Well, you're a good guy. I'm glad we didn't go the Hallowed Marsh path, because it's been fun running into you, friend. Alright, so the Dreamer's Halberd. That's actually pretty good. The Dusk Father's knowledge is universal. Even lesser beings can learn what we have been taught. Is this the exact one that he's got? No. It looks basically the same, but it's got ethereal damage on it, so it's all glowy and purple. Neat. Yeah, I mean, that's almost as good as the Warleg Spear that we have. It does way more impact. It's got the same attack speed. It does do slightly less damage. 2 less physical, 2 less ethereal, if you don't count the enchantment that I have on it. But otherwise, not bad. I don't know, or maybe that's triggered when we defeat the Immaculate Dreamer, possibly? Oh yeah, no, we've definitely not ran into him over here. I don't remember coming out this exit. Yeah, because I have no idea where we are. Alright, well, let's head back to town, I guess. Begrudgingly. Keep looking for fishing spots, because again, we just need one more game. Come on. Throw me a bone. Nothing? Please. Is that a rock mantis? I feel like that's a rock mantis. Oh no, that's iron. Okay. We're good. I'm just dumb and can never tell the difference. Nope, that was a smudge from my cat. Same one it's always been. But luckily we have not really been in this area, so we could get super lucky and find some spots that we hadn't cleared yet. We do need firefly powder, but I think we have like 1,000 of it in our inventory, back in our stash. If I miss any fishing spots, please yell at me, chat. I'm known to be blind. Question is I have no idea where I am. Nope. What about over here? Normally they're pretty easy to spot, but because this is like the rancid water, for some reason I have trouble seeing them. But we're like all the way back at the beginning also. But this is good because we have not explored this. Aha, I see you. Miasma pod, please. No! I just need one game. That's 5 rolls in a row. There's another one. Ah, we did it! First try! Alright, let's head back. That's all we need. We are back at the very beginning. Let me take a speed potion. And let's go ahead and make our way over there. Finally. Wow, I did not expect that to take as long as it did. That was very frustrating, actually. The weird and annoying part is that we got the lowest possible roll in the merchant's inventory. He can have anywhere from 3 to 6, I believe, and we only got 3 from him. But now we don't need to worry, and we are all done. We just need to go grab all of the entrance requirements from our inventory, and we are good to go. I'm gonna run across this. I don't feel like going around. At the very least, we did find the entrance to all of the boss arenas that we're going towards, so this should be a pretty straightforward at this point. Just a matter of getting what we need and running where we gotta go. All of them are right next to one another, too, which makes things nice and easy. As long as we don't die a bunch, all of our crafted food should last. I think we want to go this way. Also cleared out all the enemies on our path over there for the most part. So we can just kind of zoom our way over. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I forgot you can't vault in this game.
Greetings,
Sell
friend.
my junk. That and that. I'll take that as well. Whatever. We've got the rainbow tartine for mana regen. Have that as well. I'm gonna equip that before I forget, and then we can repair that. That give me these. I'm actually going to hold on to the marshmallow tartine over the golden tartine. Let's take 4 because that gives us enough for 4 attempts. That's what we need for food. And we need here. You can have all my silver. And what do I need? I need 10 firefly powder. And I need 10 obsidian shards. Oops. Here, you can have 2 back. But we're gonna go to the obsidian shards first. Just because those weigh a whole lot. Alright, and I think we are good to go. Yep, that's all we need for right now, and let's just go ahead, take a quick nap before we head out. Get all our burned health and stamina back, and we are good. Let's do 10 hours, why not? In fact, I'm gonna sleep for another like 2 hours just to repair my spear as well. I want this in top shape for when we go ahead and go in. Alright, and we are ready. Unfortunately, so we have to make a decision between doing the miasma pod first, since those actually go bad, and the obsidian charges first. How close are we on them? Those have quite a bit of time. Gotta worry about that. Let's just get rid of the obsidian first, because it's closer. We can do that in the firefly powder. I'm hoping that since we are in an actual city, that if we die, it'll keep us in the city. But, you know, that's not how this game works all the time. Hey, thanks, Doom. I don't really know what to expect on these. We'll find out in a second. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm doing the miasma pod first. Yeah, we're gonna go to... I believe the obsidian charges were in the dark passage. And then the miasma pods were in the giant's village. It's kind of annoying that all of these entrance requirements have been for items that I've been specifically discarding because there's been literally no use for them throughout the playthrough for the most part. Hopefully that doesn't keep up, or keep being the case at the very least. Okay, so we need to get lucky here. I think the bright guy was the firefly powder. Let's go over to this one. Yeah, this guy was the miasma. And we will... Not gonna chug my... anything. Any of my consumables. As usual, everybody, I'm expecting to die on the first one. I'm gonna also guess that this guy uses decay damage and use one of that. Buff up. I will use a mana potion only because we have a billion of them. Alright. Dude, oh wait, crap, I need this. Give me these. Alright. What do you got, game? I'm gonna dodge immediately when we load in because they like to do cheap shots. Ah, crap. Here, have this. Oh, that was right on the decay damage. Please, keep stacking up. This is perfect. Ooh, ow. Oh, that didn't hit hard at all. That did. Oh, it's very cold here, but luckily I don't think I need to worry about that. Nice. Alright, I got that off before they hit me. Ow. I didn't get everything else off. I think I can take this out without being super buffed up. They keep rushing me annoyingly. I want to take out one of them. Also, are they getting smaller as I'm doing more damage, or are two of them just, like, mini? Alright, perfect. Stop that. Alright, perfect. Now that it's only one, let's get our stamina back. Never mind. Brace. Ha! Tricked you. That's fine. Oh wow, the range on that is crazy. Right, go ahead, hit me. That was not hard at all. Used a few resources, but that's not that big of a deal. Alright, let's get this. We got Pearlbird's Courage and Vendavel's Hospitality. Alright, so what's going on in this boss arena? Everything's super cold. Maybe they're going with, like, Norse mythology, so maybe this is, like, the Giant's Realm, whatever it's called, I forget. There's a little pinwheel. Yeah, but beyond that, there's not really a whole lot going on. Why do I make everything look so easy? I don't know. They didn't have an attack pattern that was different from a standard giant. That's kind of why it was so easy. It also helped that they kept lining up perfectly, so that every time I used a heavy attack, I hit all three of them in the beginning. That was very helpful. And for some reason, they really didn't do a lot of damage to me. I don't know if I resist what they have going on. Let me see. I feel like they would have done frost damage. And I have halfway okay frost resistance. I should probably sleep and repair before this next one. Because I don't know if you noticed, but I was not being careful. I took a lot of hits. They just did not hit very hard. Is ultimately what it came down to. Alright, let's drop our Cali Gray Bone Cage. Drop our pack down. Actually, before we do, let me put that back on. Let me reset my potions before I forget. And I think we used only one or two of these. Alright, perfect. Let's repair for like 3-4 hours. Four hours, I think, is enough, and then we'll sleep for... We actually don't need to sleep for very long at all. Let's sleep for 4 hours. The Giants got their own planet? Oh, so they're Mormons? Is that how the Giants' religion works? Okay, let's go ahead, get this back. I don't think I want to take any of these others, but let's go ahead. We'll hold on to that. And just like before, let's do our buffs. I'm willing to bet that what we have to deal with is lightning damage here. But I will go ahead and use my Mist Boon for the ethereal resistance just in case. No weapon. Oh, yeah, oops. You know what? I'm just going to use them all. Let me take one potion and we'll just do them all. Why not? That way we're prepared. We don't lose anything. Alright, let's go. Fight number 2. God, it took longer to get the materials than it's going to fight these. Oh, you look cool. What do you do? Oh, one of these guys? Nice, I can hit him with confusion. But just like the other giants, he... Ow. Ow. Stop that. You know what? Have one of these. You're staggered. Worth. Again, worth. I'm gonna take one health potion, and we can take this out. We'll fight this one in one. I can get one hit in. Ow, never mind. Oh, I can get this stagger off easy. Wow, this guy is a joke. This is a cool arena, though. So I think what they're alluding to with both the unknown arenas here is the two gods that they referenced, the Dusk Father and the, what was it, the Dawn Father, or the Dawn Mother, something like that. Yeah, we've got some planetary orbits over there, only 3. Something with its own ring system that might be that that planet we can see at night when we look, as well as another big one. I don't really know, and whatever the sun is. I'm assuming the small planet on the interior is ours. The Dawn Weaver. Thank you for correcting me there, Cupid. So yeah, the Dusk Father and the Dawn Weaver. I imagine that's what these are both references to. We don't really know a whole lot. Oh, we can actually see that the really large planet has its own moon. It doesn't really orbit, but... Yeah. I assume that's their way of trying to tell us a little bit more about them, but they don't give us any details, so we're just left to assume. Alright, geez. We spend an hour and a half looking for resources, only to spend 10 minutes fighting the bosses. Let's head over to our last encounter. Maybe this one will put up a fight. And then let's head over to Abrasar. We'll do that one next. So once we're done beating this, I'll look in to see what the entrance requirements are for the ones over there, and we'll see if there's anything ridiculous. I'm waiting on the Shersinese only because one of them is that you need to get something specific from the Abrasar and bring it to the Shersinese area, which is kind of annoying. You have to go through 2 separate fast travel points for that. And because of that, I think we're going to need to equip our preservation backpack, since it's something that does go bad. Oh no, and everything respawned here because we slept for 2 days. Wait, not everything, apparently. Just some things. Here is... I think that's that little underground place we went to. Wow, we have to be able to get in there somehow. Or maybe it's related to like a faction quest line. I don't know. The one where all the trogs were hanging out behind a locked gate, but we were able to... read the book about the giant culture. Yes, that's what it is. The jewel bird meat. That's what you need for it, annoyingly. Alright, nice. So this guy's still dead. We should be okay, and I think this place is still going to be cleared out. Alright, yeah, the enemies are just dying as they see us. They're so afraid. Alright, perfect. Did this respawn? Or did I not loot this the first time? Oh, I just left some loot here. Okay. Alright. Oh, wow. Our skills aren't even off cooldown. I need one of every gem. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, because I've been selling them. I might go back and buy them, I guess. But for right now, let's buff up, and I guess we won't even use our focus and enrage. I think I might have a potion for those. I don't mind using one in this case. So I'm imagining... I've noticed that the environments are a little bit different for these than they have been in the past. I'm kind of imagining this one's going to be very hot. Use the warm boon, but just like before, I'm going to use them all. Why not? I don't know what they do. Better be prepared. Not enough mana. Okay, and we are good. Honestly, these are going to go bad when I fast travel. I'm going to use them. This apparently was not a crazy difficult number of encounters. Let's just go ahead and get it all done and over with. Where is my heal? That gives me that. Flesh. Let's use a survivor elixir. And let's bring this up here, and you can have those, Mr. Pocket. Alright, we're ready. Number 3 out of 3 for the Hallowed Marsh. We have not died to any of the encounters so far, but we did to normal enemies many times today. Okay. Yep, I was right. This one's a very powerful fire enemy. Ow. Oh, that didn't cause my brace to go off. Wait, did it? Ow, whoa, you jerk. Alright, well, this guy's a lot harder than the other ones. Don't fire me. Don't do it. Oh, you dick. Okay, so yeah, we need to prepare for this one, actually, because this is an annoying and difficult encounter. This enemy is very aggressive. Alright, Gep saves us. Hopefully he doesn't teleport us too far away. Oh, here's where we got teleported before, so we're over by the spire. Where is my backpack? Oh no, my backpack is back underground. That's annoying. He gave you a hard time. Yeah, honestly, any boss that launches fireballs is really obnoxious because it means that you cannot take a moment to breathe. Like, you always have to be on guard, and in this case, it means that I can't heal, or if he happens to catch me with a fireball, it means that I can't get rid of the fire. There's actually no way. Because if I try to get rid of the flames, he's just going to hit me in the meantime. And I'm reasonably going to take way more damage than I ever would from the fire. The problem is the fire doesn't wear off. So if I get hit by those fireballs, I just have to deal with that dot damage for the rest of the fight. That's the hard part. But luckily it left our backpack over here. Oh, it's going to be very dark on our run back. But we know where we're going. We cleared this place out. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe. I think I have to go up the other way. I'm lost. I was right the first time. It's just really dark. There should be like a stairwell here. Oh, yeah, good. Alright, we made it. Yeah, let's prepare for this one for real. This one's gonna be difficult. How's our armor looking? Not great. So let's do 5 hours, and then we'll sleep for, oh crap, we need to sleep for a bunch. That's good. We're gonna eat and drink everything once we get out of our rest, so that doesn't bother me very much. So we do the Cali Grey Bone Cage because it actually gives us a passive health regen buff as well as a physical damage buff. We need to be careful because we basically need max water for this. And eat that. Luckily, this gives us pretty good elemental resistance. Alright, and I'm gonna do an energizing potion. I'm not gonna do the Survivor Elixir this time. I don't think we need it. And elemental resistance. Long as I don't get hit by these fireballs, we're good. Now that I have focus and enrage, it should be good as well. We were able to stagger him fairly easily. I'm not worried about that necessarily. Alright, let's go. But now that we have our focus and enrage, this should hopefully be a lot easier. Also a lot easier now that I know what to expect. But yeah, we're not even taking any elemental damage. Okay. So he does a little explosion, a little flaming breath thing. 3 charged fireballs, a bunch of melee attacks. Yeah, and the name of the game is, as long as we don't get lit on fire, we win. Like, hands down. That's all we need. And now we let our stamina come back as he just wants to stare at us for a second. Alright, cool. We can dodge those easily as long as we're rotating in a circular pattern. Or not. Wow. Apparently my overconfidence is always going to be behind devise. Cue the whatever it's called from Darkest Dungeon, the narrator. Oh, what? The tracking on that was such BS. Oh my god. Nice, I got the stagger off. Alright, get back. Alright. That wasn't too bad. Now that we knew what to expect and the fact that he was going to light us on fire, we played it a little bit more cautiously, and that let us win pretty easily. But surprisingly, I think actually him having those charged fireball attacks made the fight a lot easier than him not having it. Lot's Relic and Leyline Figment. So if he didn't have that ranged fireball attack that I could manipulate with the spacing, he would have been playing way more aggro, and that wouldn't have given me a chance to heal up the flames and the fire, and it would have made it a lot more difficult, I think. I think they would have been better suited not having him have that range attack and just having him constantly charge you down. There's not much going on in this boss arena. It's just a big flaming pit. Alright, that is one more area of bosses down. 3 down, 3 to go. Let's make our way over to the Abrasar Desert. I think if we go this way and go up and out, we should be able to get there pretty quickly. Actually, oh, this is clean water, so let's go ahead and refill while we're here. Why not? The only thing is that our tartine is going to go bad by the time we get back. So we might need to swing by Berg and get some of the ones that we left in our backpack there. Those creatures suck in the open world. I don't think I've fought in Alpha. I think that's a Tuanosaur. I don't think I managed to fight a single one throughout this playthrough. We saw one, I do know that much, but it was at a point where I was doing something else and I just ran past it. So I never actually fought them. All of those attack patterns were new to me. Oh wait, I don't have any travel rations. Oh god. Do I have salt on me? No, I don't. Alright. Maybe these guys will be bros and give it to me. And that attack comes out way quicker than the explosion, or than the animation for the explosion, weirdly. Hey, alright, 1 salt. And 3 blood mushrooms. I think I only need 1 salt per. Alright, so I can only make 1. If I can find a salt node, we actually will be able to do this. But that's a big if. I guess let's make our way back. Luckily, we unlocked the little shortcut here. Unluckily, we're slow. If we get lucky and we find a node for salt, we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, it's Mr. Ghost Friend. Hey, Mr. Ghost Friend. I had a quest for you a really long time ago. Okay. Good talk. Yeah. When I didn't need it, I was seeing all those salt nodes all around the place. Definitely not seeing them now. There should be some bandits along the way over here. Are you dead? Yeah, you're dead. Now, we can hope that we'll get some stuff from them, but honestly, by the time we do, we're going to basically be back at town anyway. We looted that. How about you? Nope. What about you? Nope. Alright, well. You? Aw, he died standing up. I'll take that just in case. Oh wait, some salt is right here. Cool. We don't have to go all the way back. I think we only need 3 for our travel rations. So there's 3 salt. Do that. 1. Ah, shoot. How many of these do I have left? I'll do the marsh. No, I don't want to do the marshmallow tartine because that's gonna survive.
Wow.
We'll do all the other ones. Hey, Progovarium, thank you for the follow there. We'll do the other. Yeah, I don't think it honestly matters. These aren't gonna survive the trip. They're all gonna go bad. That's annoying. It doesn't feel good to do this, but there we go. There's our 3 travel rations. Let's head back to the actual fast travel point, and then we will finish off the Hallowed Marsh area. We've got a bunch of travel rations in our pack back at Berg, so that's not really that big of a deal. Not a huge time lost there, luckily. I'm going to be kind of annoyed if it turns out that I needed 5 travel rations. Knowing my luck, that is entirely possible. I think we can craft 1 more, technically, with the salt that we have. But we'll be SOL if it's anything more than that. Okay, so here we are again. This is going to be the moment of truth. We can also, I guess, try to fight the light creatures over there from the Light Mender, but I don't think they drop anything that's going to help us here. Hey, perfect. We only needed 3. Awesome. The fast travel point for here is really close to the city of Berg. I'm still curious, that city of Habor that they have on the map, we have not referenced. Yeah, and there we go. All of our buff items, they went bad. So we might honestly need to fight the boss encounters in Abrasar without them. Gameplay, I thought they would last a lot longer, but it did take us quite a bit to get all of our entrance requirements sorted, so that's probably where that difference in time was made up. And thankfully, we have not dropped any frames since everything has been reset on my end, so I think we're good to go for the rest of stream today. It is awesome. And while we're in Berg, let's double check and see what we're gonna need for the Abrasar Desert Unknown Arenas. That's where we're heading next. So we are going to need, before we're able to fight them, 5 power coils. That's fine, we have those. Okay, another one just has a buff requirement. That's fine as well. We do that anyway. And let's see, the third one. Hey, the other one, we are going to need the Giant's Iron Key, which we already own. Okay, yeah, so we don't have to do anything. We can just go straight to these bosses, which is awesome. Let's go ahead, just drop all this stuff off. Fill up our potions again. And yeah. I think the key counts as a weapon. Yes, it does. And then we'll take out our 5 power coils, wherever they are. Alright. And let's see, what do we have in terms of buffs? So that should be good. That will also be good. Alright, that I think we're okay on. That's gonna go bad. That's also going to go bad. Alright, so we're gonna have to do without our Vagabond's Tartine. I'm going to take all of these. All of these. We're gonna leave this. I guess... I guess I'll take my Termit Potage. I'll take like half of these. And I'll take this, and we'll buy some bread when we are in Abrasar. To at least get a little bit. I think this is probably going to go bad as well. That's good for stamina, but since we have the marshmallow, we don't really need to worry too much. Alright, and then just some travel rations, and we are good to head out. I think we need 5 just to be safe. Yeah, you're darn right it's going slow, Deku. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you today. Yeah, we didn't die. Well, we died once to all of the bosses in the Hallowed Marsh. we died more to the creatures in the overworld just farming the materials than we needed, than we did to the actual bosses. And that's only because I wasn't playing carefully at all. I was just kind of stabbing them gleefully. Alright, now where is the Abrasar entrance? Alright, we're gonna go over here. So I'm sorry to say that unless Caldera is crazy difficult and there's any boss that hugely walls me, we are probably not going to hit that 188 and you're going to lose your bet. But all hope is not lost. There's still time. We've got 3 more regions to clear out. Okay. Alright, so... I wonder if we want to get the Jewelbird meat now. Probably not. Let's wait until after we make our way over to... Or until we're just about to head back to the Chersonis area. So let's go back, and just in case, I'm going to craft another primitive backpack and drop off some stuff on the ground in my house. And that's only because I'm pretty sure some of my buff stuff is gonna go bad soon, so I want to make sure that we preserve it, if at all possible. So that way, if we die and time passes, we don't lose absolutely everything. I don't know how difficult the boss encounters will be here, since this is one of the supposedly higher level areas in the base game. I don't know what's supposed to be more difficult, whether it's supposed to be the Hallowed Marsh or the Abrasar Desert. I think it's supposed to be the desert, but they kind of seem like they're on equal footing. It's just dealing with the temperature here that's kind of a problem. Even then, I mean, I'm going to get to town before I even hit the first threshold on that, so that's not that big of a deal for me at this point. We can always cast our Warm Boon if we really want to, or our Cool Boon, whichever one supposedly affects this. So the arena bosses here are... One is going to be at Calix's throne. The other is in that little ruined ship over by where the Manticore fight is. And then the third one is in the Electric Labs. So for the Electric Labs, we need 5 power coils in order to get in. For Calix's throne, we need to have every buff boon active on us, which for us is not a problem. We do that anyway for our boss fights. We need Warm, we need Cool, we need Possessed, we need Blessed, and one more that I'm forgetting, Mist. And then on top of that, we also need Rage and Discipline. And then for the Unknown Arena at the Ruined Ship, we need the Giant's Iron Key that we ended up buying a long time ago in Caldera from the Traveling Merchant. at the suggestion of Natty. So thank you for that if you're in chat today, Natty. I appreciate that tip, and that saved us a bit of farming here. I guess since we're in town, we'll fight the throne fight first. But like I said, we're going to drop off some of our some of our perishable stuff. Of course, all of this stuff is still here. And what do we need? We need 2 hide and 1 linen. I guess we could probably just drop it on the ground, but it will go bad eventually. Oh, 2 hide. One linen. Craft a primitive satchel and throw it on the ground. This is our house, we do what we want. I'm gonna leave 2 sandwiches. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave 3. I want to be very careful here that we don't lose anything that we don't need. We can make some rainbow tartine pretty easily. It's actually still got a fair bit of durability on it, but we lost our vagabond tartine along the way, which is a shame. Other than that, I think we're honestly in pretty good shape. So let's go get 1 bread from this merchant, and we will craft... Oh, actually, no, I want that in my inventory. And we'll go ahead and craft that. Pretty sure the food merchant is either you or you.
Can I help you?
Yeah, it's you. Do you have anything I need? Dry mushroom bar. Can't believe I don't know how to make that already, but here we are. Give me all your salt. Oh, we can buy the rare jewel meat from you. Honestly, I'm just going to do that now. As well as... we need 5, and then more on top of that. Give me all your travel rations. I don't even care. Oh, I don't have any silver. Oops. Ah, I left it all in storage. We're not too far away, though, so no big time loss there. This isn't a speed run. I also appreciate how low the loading time is between your house and the city usually, because I think they're rendered in the same. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. And give me 6 bread. Sure, why not? There's alchemy. Here we are. Here's our kitchen. Make some rainbow tartine. Put that back, and let's put this in a bunch of our marshmallow tartine. Let's leave half of it here. What was that? And the bread. I think that is good, and we are ready to fight the bosses here now. Alright, let's do this. Actually, wait, no, let's take a nap first. Alright. You're going down. I assume that we're fighting Calixa for her throne, admittedly. Yeah, I'm doing the first one I'm going to do that is the one in town, only because it's here. And I'm lazy. Why travel when I can just fight the boss that's here? Let's go ahead, beat her up. This one is probably going to be difficult, maybe, because she's supposed to be a god. A goddess, I should say. This was the first one that you did. Well, this is, well, let's see. Because again, I'm expecting a difficult encounter, so hopefully it's not too bad. Let's start with our normal buff sequence. Oh, I can't use my ice infusion on this first go-around. If I do, it'll consume my cool boon. I would either need to have a potion on me, or to have prepared better. Oh well, that's fine. We'll just suffer without the slight extra damage. I say slight, but it's actually a lot. Alright, let's do this. And I'll take one of these for right now. Drink some water, and alright, we're good. Show me what you got. Oh, ow. You jerk. Alright, so she shoots twice from far away. Have some confusion, please. Nice. I don't know who I can and cannot inflict with confusion, so I gotta be careful. It's very low recovery on her attacks. Also, really high resistances. Holy crap. And the tracking on that is BS. How did you whip that? Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I think maybe it might help out when I have my my ice infusion, but the fact that I'm using lightning damage for most of my build is going to make her tough, since she's a holy enemy, basically. That's what lightning damage is in this game. Yeah. Ooh, alright. This one's gonna be a tough one. I think, honestly, let me... Oh, come on, really? I was in town. Why would you teleport me across the map? I thought I'd be safe since I was actually in city limits. That's annoying. Yeah, that was rough. I think I'm gonna bust out the Hailfrost Spear for this one. I think that's gonna be a necessary evil. But the problem is that I'm gonna need to use my cool boon twice. It also wasn't clear what she was hitting me with. When she was firing those projectiles, it looks like they were multicolored, like almost like every other element. But yeah, alright, we got a tough one here, chat. This is what we were waiting for. Now, I wonder, I think I have some cool potions, or the ability to make a bunch of them at the very least, somewhere. So I can use my cool boon spell, and then, after that, I can use a potion to give myself the boon back. I think that's the way we're going to have to go about this one. The problem is, again, for those who might not know, my build is very, very dependent on the ability to do lightning damage to enemies. It's like 50% of all of my damage. I'm assuming that she has incredibly high resistances to that. I'm going to swap to a weapon that doesn't rely on that. And what we're going to do is, since I have an ice infusion, we can kind of use that to our advantage. Which is going to increase our ice damage as well as just to help us out in general. Alright, how slow am I? It's not too bad. Let's go ahead. What are my weapons like? Yeah, we'll repair for like 2 hours, I guess. Sleep for 8. Somebody in chat will be very happy about this boss. Oof. Alright, sounds like I'm gonna be dying a lot then. You got your wish, Deku. Let's head back. We will get our pack. We're gonna buff up for real since we have a rough idea of what she does. Oh shoot, I forgot to take my potions out of inventory if I do have them. Let's grab my backpack and then we'll loop back to this to my whatever it's called. My house. There we go. Alright, wait. You didn't equip this, did you? I might honestly not even have any hanging out in my inventory, but let's see. Mist potion, possessed potion, warm potion. Nope. Now, we could use an ice varnish, but I don't want to because we don't get the other buffs from it. Oh wait, we do. We have a few. We have 5. I can work with that. Alright, so now sleeping in Levant gives us 20% reduced stamina cost and 5 hot weather defense. Whereas if we use our Caligray Bone Cage, we get healing over time and improved physical strength. I'm going to want that over what we have. Don't mind me, I'm just going to take a nap in your throne room. No big deal. Just be cool, King Simeon. You want to be cool, right? Alright. Perfect. So we've got 10% physical damage and some passive health regen. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Stop it. Alright, we're gonna eat our sandwich. Eat our tartine. I'm going to actually take a stability potion for her. And an energizing potion. Let's do elemental resistance as well for no reason. Wait, I thought I equipped this. Hail Frost. And again, I'm going to do all the boons because I can't really tell what element she's using. This is just going to stack on top of the existing elemental resistance, I think, so that we take very little damage. And then let's go ahead and do that. Give me this back. Alright, and then drink your water. And we are super buffed up. Got ourselves 6 lines. That's how you know it's real. Got ourselves a big boy fight right now, chat. I wonder if I sprint... Okay, I can sprint away from those. That's actually less stamina than just rolling. That does a lot more stamina damage to her. What? Come on! My Simeon's Gambit didn't go off. Yeah, oh, we do so much more damage to her now. Like, it's not like we're not struggling still. Ah, I whiffed. Ow. That's fine, I'll take the hit. Wow! Don't shoot me. Thank you. She does the same crap that I do. You know what? No, you don't get to block. Oh, one more hit and she would have staggered. You know what? We're going for it. Have a stagger. Oh, I thought I would get the stagger on her. I don't think I do damage to her when she's recovering, weirdly. That's fine. I'll take the hit on that. You jerk. Man, I'm missing all of my cooldowns. Ooh, alright, she got me on that one. You know what? No, you don't get a shield. Ow. I don't get to be standing up. It's fine. Go ahead, shoot me with your laser. Got him. That wasn't too bad, but that was definitely a difficult encounter. She has to have like crazy high resistances. Like nutty resistances, because I did no damage to her, even with an element swap. So what? I wonder how they're animating her. So she's all glowy. Just seems to be wearing her old armor with a banner of Levant. 3 halos surrounding a crown that looks like it's the same animation of the solar system that they had when we were at the Giants fight not too long ago. And this is all the same kind of imagery we've seen anytime that a lot has been involved or any other kind of deity. I don't know what the significance of this bell is, though. That went way too easy. Sorry to disappoint, QP. I get the feeling I am far over-prepared for a lot of the base game fights, unfortunately, at this point. Oh, and there was one skeleton there. That was probably her body or something. Alright, well, 1 down in Abrasar, 2 to go. I guess let's go ahead and drop off our Hailfrost Spear and swap back to our Whirlig build. Oh, wait, I need to unequip it first. That's good. You can have this back. We still have Marshmelon and Rainbow Tartine. What do we need from this? Let's take all of these. I'll also take another, like, 3 of these. I think that's good for right now. I just killed a god. Yeah, I guess technically, yeah, I did. Do I have water? Oh, I do have water. Bill. And alright, let's go do the other 2 around here. So again, we are going to the electric lab somewhere. I don't know where in there it is. Actually, let's go do the shipwreck first, just because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And it's even nighttime, and we don't need to worry about the temperature. Luckily, I think the shipwreck and the electric labs are relatively close to one another, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Wonder if we're gonna have to fight the Manticore again, or if that was a one-time spawn also. Technically, that's the only one we've really fought throughout the entirety of the playthrough. Hey Probe, welcome back. That's been going pretty well today. We finished off all of the encounters in the Hallowed Marsh. Most of the stream has been just farming up the entrance requirements for that. And then we just beat the Calixa boss in Abrasar, and we're working our way through the other 2. Now, none of the bosses have taken me more than 2 tries so far. Oh, our Manticore friend is still here, so let's go ahead, let's kill him off. We still have some of our buffs from the previous fight. Oh. Wow, stop! You jerk. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die to poison. You know what? No. Well, I suppose I should have tried a little bit harder on that. I thought I could get the stagger. Yeah, I've died more in the overworld doing things like that than I have to the actual bosses. Alright, we are over in Old Levant now. We're very hungry, very thirsty, and we have, oof, fever. Where's my backpack? Oh, you jerks. Oh, here it is. What is this? This is this is Mika fever. Do I have a thing to clear that? I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna run past that manticore. He's a jerk. Yep, Calixa, it took us 2 tries on. Is this the way out? I don't think so. I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I am going the wrong way. But yeah, she was tough because she had crazy high resistances. That's actually the first boss that we swapped off of our Whirling Spear, and we used a Hailfrost Spear. But luckily, with an Ice Infusion and a Cool Boon on top of that, I think that actually helped out quite a bit. We don't need to worry about our hunger. We'll get that gone in just a second, because we're going to munch on a bunch of food before we end up over at this boss. I guess if we find some butterflies, I will take a rest there so that we can get our bone cage buff. Besides that, I don't know. Let's see, is there a safe way we can go down? It does not look like it, so let's just sleep here. Oh, butterflies, cool, never mind. This works perfectly. Yeah, let's go ahead, let's get our bone cage buff. That 10% physical damage is awesome, I love it. No, stop. I will forget every time. Drop my backpack. I always either forget to check my equipment or drop my backpack. Oh, this isn't gonna let me. I'm gonna die. Oh my god. Not one thing, it's another. Here, eat this. We're not sleeping for very long, so this is fine. I think 3 hours is fine, and another 3 hours will get everything else. Oh, come on. Game, please. I don't care that you're hot, game, Bary. You're gonna deal with it, and you're gonna like it. I think this Mika fever kinda sucks. But, well, I guess we'll have to deal with it. I don't know if I have anything to get rid of it for right now. Ah, crap, that's a shark. That is probably the safest way down. Let's just hope it doesn't pot shot us right when we get to the bottom. Cool, he didn't even notice us. So let's go fight whatever this boss in the ship is. Hopefully we can get up onto this ship without aggroing the manticore, because I don't really feel like dealing with that right before a boss. Or hopefully we don't die of freaking heat before we do that. In fact, I have a survivor's elixir. Let's go ahead and take that really quickly. Ooh, I think that just saved our life, honestly. I'm gonna risk it. Let's buff up. I'm gonna take everything, because we're hungry. We've got these stupid debuffs. We're in the desert. We just took a survivor's elixir. Let's take an energizing potion, and I think that's good. I'm gonna take another stability potion because that's just nice. I like that. And let's go for it. I have no idea what this boss is. Normally I wouldn't be using all of these consumables with such limited information, but you know what? You only live once. We're gonna YOLO this one. Oh, yeah. 6 lines. I'm even counting the debuffs. Let's do this. Oh, wait, it's not this one. Hold on. Let me double check. I just buffed up. I think it's on this one. I just might be at the wrong entrance. Let me check this one. Oh, wait, no, no, no. I need the key. That's why. I'm so slow! Maybe it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. 6 bars of buffs. He's achieved the unthinkable, says Deku. Well, clearly you haven't been paying attention all day. I've achieved the unthinkable for... Oh, God. No! Why? This... Oh, why game? Alright, so he's got a laser... Oh, this is annoying. Right off the bat, he gets me with fire. His stamina regens really quickly, but it looks like he has really low impact. Being a jerk. This guy doesn't do a whole lot, but that laser beam, if it lights me on fire, is going to be a real big problem. It's like they know. Okay, I think I can cheese it with the laser beam. Oh, I thought I would get the stagger! That was terrible. Don't laser me. Don't do it. Perfect. Oh, not perfect. The opposite of perfect. The worst possible outcome. The tracking on this is such BS. I hate this enemy. Stop being a jerk. Don't laser beam me. Alright, luckily, I think the way it's scripted, he's not going to ever use that attack twice in a row. He's always going to give that weird pause, so that gives me at least a little bit of time to chug a potion if I want. We also do a crazy amount of impact again, if I didn't say that. No! Get back in range! Alright, laser beam me. This should be the end. No! There we go. All because this giant key. I blame it 100% on that. Alright, so this guy's a jerk. I don't like him. This is just some, like, Abrasar lab, I guess. There doesn't seem to be a crazy amount of significance to it. Hey, thank you for that, Cloud. And you call that Super Saiyan 3? That's pretty fitting, honestly. If only your character's hair color changed with the amount of buffs you had, it would be perfect. Yeah, I played that one a little too fast and loose. Those beast golems are obnoxious. They don't have a good tell for whether they're going to hit you, whether they're going to lunge once or twice. That's kind of why I always have problems fighting them. But it kind of worked out in the end. We died right before we were trying to fight that, and we got ourselves some Mika fever in the desert. Which is awful because it lowers our weather defense. But luckily for us, on that specific enemy, we can kind of work around it just because he gave us a huge opening for recovery with that laser beam attack. So every time he would use it, there was a significant down period where he wouldn't do anything else. Alright, that's the real boss here, the Manticore. Harder than any of the endgame bosses. How long do we have on our pain debuff? Less than a minute, and then, yeah, I don't know. Do we have any way to cure that? Really don't think we do. Only I had a status or a disease. Wait, here's all negative effects. I don't think this is going to work on diseases. Oh, it does! Nice. Okay. I actually wouldn't have expected that to work. Yeah, right as you said that, Deku, I kind of figured that one out. I'm gonna just run past you. Leave me alone. A cool potion or iced tea. Yeah, I have them, but they're hanging out in my stash, so I would have to run all the way back to town. And I don't want to do that, because I'm already here. So this is the last boss here in the Abrasar region that we're going to be fighting. Well, it's the last boss that we can fight, because it's the last one that exists. And then we are, I think, going to head over and do the Chersonis ones, provided we have time on stream. I don't know. We might not. It really depends on whether we're able to meet the requirements for entrance. Now, I don't know where here in the actual lab the unknown arena is. Let me see. Alright, so this one's easy. It should be right down below, because I know this place can be a little bit of a maze. We're gonna go down one stage here, clear out the enemies, and then we will hopefully be okay. What? Drop your backpack. Come on, man. I don't really care about taking damage from these guys, only because I'm going to sleep. And they don't really hurt very hard, they kind of tickle me. It's usually shown on the map overlay in the dungeon. That's interesting, because this, at least what the wiki's telling me, is that it should be right here. Nothing here, nothing here. None of you have anything interesting. Yeah, so these little coils here are where we need to be, so let's go ahead. I'm going to drop, again, my Cali Gray Bone Cage. I'm going to double check to see how much repairing we need to do. A fair bit, since we kind of took a lot of damage during that last fight. Let's do 4 hours for repairing, and then we only need to sleep for like 2 to get everything back, so let's go for 6, and we're good. Pretty sure there's some enemies like right around the corner. I'm surprised the game lets you just like sleep like that, even if you do set the ambush and watch chance to the max. Alright, so I tried to play it fast and loose for the last one, and I kind of almost got punished for it. I'm going to do my normal. I'm just going to use my buffs that don't require consumables, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're going to use that. We're going to use this. I don't know what these guys do, so we're just going to use all of our boons. Yeah, I kind of agree, Deku. I really don't think that you should be able to guard. You're either safe or you're not. Because even if you're guarding, you still have to fend off enemies, even if you're on patrol. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And how overweight am I? Yeah, we're good. Alright, let's do this. I think that's all the buffs that we want. Yep. Alright, and let's see. Oh, it's these stupid sharks. And of course, there's multiple of them. So for any of those who weren't around in the playthrough, these are actually really difficult to fight with a spear. The way their lunging attacks happen make it so that they basically miss the hitbox anytime they're attacking and I attack at the same time, which is like continuously. If I can take out like one of them, ow, then this might not be too bad. Alright, we're going Naruto on them. Ow, yeah. This is going to be tough. This is actually going to be a very, very difficult encounter for me. It's like my worst nightmare for the build I have. So, yeah. They're hard to hit with my weapon. There's multiple enemies. And I think the sharks honestly resist lightning passively, but I don't know. Increase the Deku counter before he yells at me. You fall to the ground, broken and defeated, and for some reason it's showing the Enmerkar forest in the background. Alright, so Gep came, saved the day. Alright, no, I don't want your note, I just want your ocean. Where did he put us? We need to go over here. For a long time, this was considered the hardest UA in the game. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if it's as difficult to fight them in melee with other weapons, but yeah, it's really tough for me. At least with the spear, because of the way the hitbox works out. Oh yeah, and they are resistant to lightning, says Cloud. Alright, so I might need to swap to my Hailfrost Spear then, and we might need to try it with that if we're not going to do any damage to them. I'm going to give it one more go with the Whirlig Spear. And if we're still having difficulty doing damage once we're like fully buffed up, I'll go ahead and I'll go back to town and we'll don't die. Yeah, there we go. I'll go back to town and we'll pick up some of those cool potions so that we can use the cool boon and ice imbue and then use it again so we still have the cool boon going. But yeah, I think the way the animations worked out, I can't tell. They either do lightning damage or they do ethereal damage. I mean, the sharks themselves are purple. Wait, my backpack is still in the dungeon. I didn't forget it. It's weird that when I drop it, it doesn't bring it with me when I die. That's been happening a lot. So it's right here where I left it in the actual dungeon at the entrance. Nope. For some reason, if I enter the instance of the boss, it does not teleport with me. Do I need to go around the other way? Is that what I need to do? Yeah, that's been happening every time I've died for some reason. Oh, there we go. That's why. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm interpreting it as, Deku, since it's in a different instance or zone as me. It doesn't see that it's associated with my character, so it just leaves it where I left it. So here it is. Right where we left it. Alright, let's sleep again, and we only get one more shot with a full buff. And then we're going to have to think about heading back. What is our... Oh, we didn't take a whole lot of damage, so that's not too bad. Alright. Let's rest up. Rest and repair. Get some R&R. I think 2 hours is probably good, and then we need like 6 for everything else, and then we'll guard for 8. Yeah, for some reason, that behavior has been consistent for every UA that we've done so far, because I don't bring my pack in with me, just so that I don't need to go through the animation of dropping it. It's just an extra factor that I don't have to worry about. Alright, you drink this. Eat this. Eat this. Eat this. Alright, and I'm going to do a stability elixir, an energizing potion. Honestly, this place might be where our flash step gets the most value. And let's do an elemental resistance on top of everything else. I guess I'll do mist, and then that's it. We've got our bless and our mist boon up, so I think that's probably about the best we're gonna get. Alright, let's do this. We'll give it 1, maybe 2 more tries, and then if we're still struggling, we'll swap out to our Hail Frost. Yes, honestly, that might be the play. I might need to wait for the cooldown. Oh, did I forget to use an energizing potion? Yeah, see, and that should have connected, but it didn't. Ow. Alright, well those don't go away. At least they stay around for a very long time. Ow. They don't do a lot of damage, luckily. At least not while I'm buffed up. I just need to make sure to fight the one that I'm going for. I kind of have to try to manipulate their movement so that the one that I want to fight ends up near me. Alright, I can hit them one more time before I need to use a stamina potion. As long as they don't interrupt me. I've got the stability potion up, so that's actually really good. Nice. I didn't even take damage. Once it's down to 2, this should get a lot easier. I'm just gonna keep dodging and poking. Dodging and poking. Ow. Yeah, I forgot to use my Energizer potion, I think. Hey! Alright, we got one. I can't see the other one. I don't like that. I need to make sure that they're always within vision. Alright, we should be able to do this, unless they get like a crazy big damage buff. After 2 out of 3 of them are dead, this should go pretty well. I want to Zerg this one down. No, 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 don't do that. Oh, alright, we're good. Oh wait, I don't have any stamina. Alright, we're good. We win. Neat. I expected that to not go as well as it did. Huzzah! Alright, and let's all admire the Super Mario 64 aquarium room that they set up here. Nice. Thank you, Cloud. And Doom. Yeah, luckily, the way they kind of clustered up, so I could just do a back roll and a quick heavy attack, and they couldn't do anything about it. That was really stamina intensive, but luckily we had enough potions on us where we could kind of just tank it. Yeah, the fact that we went both Warrior Monk and Mercenary is really paying off. Like, the dividends on that are paying off in full. Alright, so that is all the fights here in Abrasar. Let's go ahead and double check the requirements for the Chersonese area, and then I don't think we're going to have enough time to really get into any of the fights over there. It's probably going to take us most of the time just to get everything prepared. Alright, so we need 5 gold lich mechanisms. I'm pretty sure we only have like 3, unfortunately. So that's tough. I don't actually know where to get those. We need the brand weapon, which I think we have. I'll have to double check in my stash back at town. And we need to bring 2 rare jewel meats from Abrasar over there, and that's gonna be tough. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get everything together in time for this. Let's go ahead and check and see what we have in our stash. What's this debuff? Elemental vulnerability. Whatever. Alright, my mortal enemy is officially dead. The sharks are gone. Oh, crap. They were waiting to ambush me. They know I killed their parents. They're so fast. Let's turn our lantern off. I don't want to aggro this obsidian elemental. Oh, and it looks like they killed a shark. I'll take that, thank you. I think this is all gonna depend on whether we have the brand weapon or not. I don't know. We've gotten pretty lucky so far with all the entrance requirements that really required us to have a weapon. Just because we've already found them all while we were exploring. Because we actually did a fairly okay job of fully clearing a lot of dungeons in an area. We needed like the Sunfall Axe, we needed the Giant's Iron Key, we needed the Blood Dagger. No, we didn't need the Blood Dagger, that was for something else, but... yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I know there is like a weird craftable weapon you need, and you need to buy like a bunch of strange alchemy ingredients from a bunch of different places. Maybe that might have something to do with it, maybe that's it. We'll see. We'll find out in a second, because basically if it's in our stash, that's easy. If not, then it's probably going to take a bit of work, and we're probably going to end stream about there, and we'll go ahead and work through the requirements for that next stream on Monday. Now, this stream, we finished off all of the Hallowed Marsh area and the Abrasar Desert for the unknown arenas. I always want to call them unknown areas for some reason. Alright, moment of truth. Let's go check and see. Depending on how much prep we need to take, I might head over to Caldera again as well, and pick up a bunch more of our free tartine, if possible. Alright, so we're looking for, the weapon is called Brand. Doesn't look like we have it. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. Let's see. How much of a pain in the butt is it to make it? Oh yeah, that's the sword that you need to make with a bunch of random ingredients from all over the place. Ooh, hopefully I didn't sell the main sword earlier in the playthrough. I don't think I did. Knowing me, I wouldn't have sold something that looked like it was unique. You never know. I don't know. Alright, well, then this is going to be a bit of a slog before we can get to the rest of the playthrough. Luckily, one of the ingredients, it looks like we have to basically travel all the way around the world to get everything. Drop this stuff off. Fill up our water. And one of the ingredients is sold by the alchemists. Yeah, I remember that, but the thing is that when I went up to the top of the Conflux Mountain for the very first time, it was like the second stream of this playthrough, and I was still trying to get a feel for the combat. I don't remember. I know that when I went up to the very top of the Conflux Mountain, I died to that rock mantis. I don't remember if I actually picked the item up or not. That's kind of what it comes down to. And I'm actually going to buy a few cool boons while we're here. Alright, and here's that chemist's broken flask that I kept saying, what the heck is this for? Well, now we know. It's for this. Alright, do I have all of your recipes? Looks like the answer is yes. Have, I don't know, what, like 2 of these? Perfect. Wait, I don't have enough silver. Fine, have 1 more, you greedy jerk. I'm gonna start holding on to those cold stones, because that's the only way that you can actually repair the Hailfrost Spear, which is my secondary weapon. Put that in stash, that. I guess we'll hold on to the rest of this stuff. This should last. But, alright, well, if that's the case, it's going to be probably a solid hour or 2 of farming before we're going to be able to approach any of the other bosses. I'm going to call it for the day. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me today and watching me clear out the unknown arenas in both the Hallowed Marsh and the Abrasar Desert. It was a blast. Like I said, we did pretty good. We only died twice to any individual boss. We're actually faring a lot better than I expected on all of these. We've got 2 more areas left. We've got Caldera, which I'm saving for last, and the Charcenise area, which we're going to start off with fresh on Monday. Oh, and I didn't see your message there, Cloud. Unknown arena, unknown area, same smell. Yeah, pretty much. You all know what I'm talking about. That's what it comes down to. As usual, if you're enjoying the stream, go ahead and give it a follow so that you can see when we go live. That is typically at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Monday through Friday, for our Outward playthrough. You can also catch up on how the playthrough got to this point by checking out all previous VODs, which are archived on my YouTube channel under the same name, Epic Baryon, or you can follow the link there in chat. Unfortunately, Twitch only keeps them for 7 days, so that's where I've been storing them once they get rid of them on Twitch. But besides that, you all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world, and after that, a beautiful weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Until then, you all take care, and thank you for watching.